Hey everyone, so in this video we will be discussing Python F strings. So let's get started, guys. So F strings introduced in Python 3.6 provide a concise and convenient way to embed expressions inside string literals. They allow for easy string interpolation and formatting. So I'll give you three examples which will explain how this works. First, before we start going over the example is the syntax. So F strings are prefixed with an F character. Inside the string, you can directly insert variables by placing their names inside the curly braces. So let's see how this works. So if we want to insert variables using F strings, how do we do this? So I'm going to first show you the regular way of doing this, and then we will use the F strings to do the same thing. So let's say I have two variables, name and age. I will change the quotation marks because when I copied it from my slide, they are different. I'll just quickly change them. So if I click on run, this will tell me that my name is this and I am 30 years old, right? This is how we can do this without using F strings, where you have to use quotation marks, then comma, comma, quotation marks, comma, again, quotation marks, and so on. Okay. But instead of using this way, we can actually use F strings. So what we should do is first I'm going to do print. And for F string, we need to write the letter F followed by the quotation marks. You can use single or double quotation marks. And here inside the string, I can start writing my text. So first I'm going to write my name is. If it's a string, you don't have to do anything, no extra quotation marks, nothing. The only time you have to do something different when you have a variable. So after saying my name is, first of all, I need to have a space, right? So since you need to have a space, you just add a space. And then you have to put your variable. So variable should go in a curly brace. So here you're going to write the name of the variable. And then again, if you have more strings, you can just write as it is. So after printing my name is, I'm going to print and I am. So I need to have a space. And then I'm going to say and I am. Again, a space. And then I'm going to put my age. So since age is a variable, I'm going to put this in a curly brace. And after age, again, I need to have a space to print years old. So just need to have a space, years old, period. So this is done by F strings, and this is done by the regular way. So both will show us the same thing. My name is John, and I'm 30 years old. Okay. I think I have an extra space here, which is why you're saying two spaces, because comma automatically adds a space for you. Okay, so this is how F string works. All right, hopefully this makes sense. So when you are doing printing, just put whatever you want to print. And anytime you have a variable, just have a space and put the variable in a curly brace. That's how F strings work. So this is example number 1. Example number 1, inserting variables. So if you're inserting variables, you can just use F strings instead of using comma, plus, quotation marks, all sort of stuff. Just make it simple, and this is how it should look like if you're using F strings. Next, evaluate expressions with F strings in Python. So I will copy this too. So first the regular way, and then we will use the F strings. Okay, example number 2, evaluate expressions with F strings in Python. So if you have an expression like when you're adding two variables together. Again, we can use f strings. So first, let me do the regular way. I will have to change the quotation marks. So every time you have a string, you have to use that quotation marks, and then comma, and keep changing them, which is kind of annoying. But instead of doing this, we can use the better way of doing this using f string. So here we want to print the sum of x. So again, the string goes here, the sum of. I need to have a space to print my x, since x is a variable. After x, I need to have a space and then write and. Again, I need to have a space to put my y. And is, I need to have a space. Again, a space. And then x plus y. Again, a space. And then a period. Okay. So this is without f strings, and this is with f strings. So this is for evaluating expressions using f strings. So if I click on run, we will see the same thing. One was done using comma, another is done using f strings. You'll also notice that the period has a space because we have to use comma. But when you're using f strings, you don't have that problem. Okay. All right, so that was example number 2. So now the last examples, which is about formatting. So we want to round a decimal number to 2 decimal places. Okay, so we can do this using f string. So let's see how this works. I'm gonna copy this and copy the value, and then I'll explain how this works. So example number 3, formatting. We want to round a decimal number to 2 decimal places. So this is a value that we have that has 3 digits after the decimal, but we want to keep only 2 digits after the decimal. So we can use the f string. So print f string. So I can say the formatted value is. So first of all, we need to write the name of the variable, which is value. We need to have a colon, a dot, and then since we want to keep 2 digits, we're going to do 2f. And once we're done, we have to close the curly brace, and that's it. So this will allow you to keep 2 digits after the decimal instead of having 3. So let's run this and just make sure it is working. Okay, so as you can see, the formatted value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So you can see it rounded to 2 decimal places. As you know that since the third digit is more than 5, it will add 1 to that 8. So that's why you're going to see 7, 9. Okay, so this is used for string formatting. So let's quickly go over this. So if you notice, we use the colon first. So what's the purpose of all these? So let's just quickly go over that. So the colon serves as a separator between the variable name and the format specifier. Since you want to round to 2 decimal places, so first you have to use the colon sign to separate the variable and the format specifier. So that's why you're using that colon. Then we have the dot followed by 2 indicates the precision component of the format specifier. Okay. In this case, it specifies that the floating point number should be rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay. And then lastly, we have the letter F. This is saying that this specifies the type of representation, which in this case is a floating point representation. So that's the purpose we're using a colon and a dot, 2, and F. So that's how we can form it. Okay, so that's the uses of f strings. Hopefully this makes sense, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye.